Okay, welcome to our new episode. I have my friend here that I recently met in Dubai, and here we have Donya. I have to mention again, Donya, I love your name.
Ah,
Like, for those who don't know what Donya means, it means whirl. I
thank
mean, that is such
you
a beautiful name with a beautiful meaning.
so much. I
Anyway,
appreciate it.
yeah, we recently met here in Dubai. And how long have you moved to Dubai?
Since May of 2025. So
Oh,
about
yeah,
6 months, I think six,
6 months
7 months.
now. Wow, that's quite recent. And how do you feel so far?
Honestly, I've had my moments. Like, there's moments that I'm like, what am I doing here? Should I just go back? And then there's moments where I'm like, no, this feels good. I think I can do something here. I think I
Mm-hmm,
can I can actually get closer to my dreams and the life that I've always wanted. So
mm-hmm,
I think it's a mixed feeling with Dubai and so far my conversations with other people has been the same. I think everyone has like this mixed feeling about it. It's not they don't hate it. Not everybody loves it, but at the same time that they're like grateful and they're happy that they're here.
Oh, yeah, I felt the same way too last year when I moved, but for me, it's been like over a year now. I believe it's more of like a transition. Like over
Yeah.
time, you'll probably eventually love it. Like at the moment, probably you're mixed feelings, like you said.
Yeah.
But if we were to take a step back, like, okay, before Dubai, where were you?
Yeah. So, well, I'm originally from Iran. I was born and raised in Iran, in Tehran, the capital. And when I was about 17, I moved to Canada with my dad. But I could say I was mostly on my own because my dad was a lot of back and forth, and maybe he would stay with me for a month or two and then he would go back. So I was most like, I kind of grew up on my own in Canada. And it was his own journey. I lived in Toronto. For those of you who know about it and you know the weather and how Canada is, it's been a huge difference moving from there to here. And in
Yeah.
December, and there's Christmas time almost, and I'm like, oh my God, we're sunny, and I'm wearing and a skirt and a top and,
Yeah.
jeans with no jackets and sometimes kind of miss the winter look,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still good. I definitely prefer sun. I definitely prefer heat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been quite of a journey. When I moved there, I was, young and I had to go to high school and university. At the same time, when I moved there, I couldn't even speak English. So for me, it was very, very tough not having anyone there, not having family there. And I grew up in a way where I was always like with family going places. Like I would not just simply go to the mall on my own or anything like that. I don't know how much people know about Iran's situation. Like I don't want to say it's unsafe, but it's not safe either.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom never felt comfortable just leaving me alone going anywhere. So I grew up very dependent on the family. And then moving to Canada was like, I'm on my own now and I have
Mm-hmm.
to figure it out. And I got a job the first month I got there at a coffee shop
Mm-hmm.
after the first month. And that's really what helped me with my English and, starting to understand better, being in the environment, started being friends with
Wow.
people who couldn't speak my language much. So I could,
Mm-hmm.
learn faster. And it's
Yeah.
all about putting yourself in those uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
situations,
I
right?
mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a, huge difference for you coming from Iran
Mm.
to Canada, and like you mentioned, like language was a barrier for you. Like, and you were practically on your own, even though perhaps your dad were
Yeah.
there to visit you. But, what else were your challenges other than language? Like, especially at a young you were
Yeah.
17 when you first moved to country.
Okay. That's actually where my journey with working out started and going to the gym. And the
Mm-hmm.
main reason why I started, and I always tell this to people, it's not because I wanted to look good, it's because mentally I really needed it. When I moved there, I felt alone a lot of times. And I didn't really feel like I could connect with everyone because there were people there that were maybe like when I was in high school. There were some girls that moved there maybe 3, 4 years, before me. So they were kind of like already adjusted and adapted, and their English was, pretty good. And so for me, a lot of times I felt like out of place, And at the same time, when my dad left, because when we got there in July 27th of 2015, I remember the date. When we got there, my dad, about a month and a half, like almost September, it was when he went back home. And after like a month and a half in a new country, and your dad is gone now, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have to figure out grocery. I have to go to work. I have to go to school. I need to handle everything on my own, cook, shop, this, that, work out. read, study. It was everything. And it was quite challenging. And honestly, for me, it was very depressing because I'm a very social person. And I felt like I couldn't really communicate much with people because, especially because of the language barrier. And I started like having a lot of nightmares and very, very tough time, like mentally, emotionally, really affected me. And I just felt really, really lonely. That's definitely what it
I'm sure,
was.
yeah.
Not having a parent figure there with you that like you could go home
Hmm.
to and you come home and it's empty. And
Yeah,
like
that must
I'm
be
not used to
hard.
that. Yeah,
That must be hard.
it's
Yeah.
really hard. And then I went to the doctor and she wanted to put
Oh.
me on a depression pills. And I'm gonna be honest, I did take it for like about a couple of days. And she told me to not come off it without telling me da, 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 da. But I'm a very hype person. Like I have a lot of energy. And when I started taking those pills, it just made me feel like just neutral and like down. And
Oh.
it didn't really feel good. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm not gonna do this. So I stopped it without telling my doctor. Whatever. Call me a villain of the story. I'm a rebellion. But
Mhm.
so I started going to the gym, and that was my way of really, keeping my energy up and feeling good about myself. Because that hour and a half just going there and focusing on not the thoughts that was in my head, because I'm such an overthinker.
Mhm.
And when you do have a lot of time on your hand, what do? You think a lot,
Mhm.
right? There's a lot of time
Yeah.
to think about
True.
things.
Mhm.
So then that's when my whole journey started. It was quite challenging to be able to balance things between back home and here, and I
Yeah.
wanted to go visit. And at some point, I felt like I didn't belong where I was, and I don't belong back home either. I still am there. Like, I still feel like I don't have an actual place I can say, oh, I have a home. Yes, my family is my home. Love them to death. My mom is in Iran, and she's pretty much my whole family to me. Yeah, when I go back home, it's like there's parts that I love, but I still don't feel like I'm home. And then
Mhm.
when I was in Canada, I didn't feel like a home. When I'm here, I don't feel like a home. So I feel like as someone who moves abroad, that's something that a lot of people need to adjust to. Like home doesn't feel like home, but where you are doesn't feel like completely like home either. You
Mhm.
know? I'm pretty sure
Wow, yeah.
you've had similar maybe
Well, I mean,
experience
like
or
for
feeling
me,
as well.
I haven't reached that point yet. Like I
Okay.
think I because like I believe like in your case, like you've been away for too long that you don't feel that Iran is your home anymore. But then
Yeah.
again, because you are in a new place and you feel like it's hard to connect, and therefore it's not yet a home for you.
Uh-huh.
Like for me, I haven't reached that point yet, but
Good.
I'm inspired
You
by
don't need
your
to.
story. Yeah, I don't want to feel that, but I think eventually the longer I stay here in Dubai, maybe
Yeah.
I will feel like, home is basically where you are. I will create home wherever I go.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
that's my in my mindset. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but speaking of like, I'm inspired by a story about like, what you share with me.
Thank
I feel that, when you're away, of course, there's part of you that you feel like you need to create just to make you feel like home. And
Mhm.
you mentioned about your routine going to the gym that
Yeah.
probably can, make your mind focused. But is there any other routine that you do to make you feel like home so you don't really miss home back then?
I don't think anything can really replace that, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you come to peace with yourself that this is it, right? Like until I think, and it's also different when you move with family, when you move alone. Like I'm alone, right? It's very different than if I would have had my husband and my kids, and it would have been a completely different experience. But being on my own right now, I don't think for now there's anything that can replace that. However, in terms of routines, yes, of course, like my journey with whole self improvement and learning about how to make myself feel better, how to be at peace, how to keep myself calm. Cause I also was the kind of person that was always stressed, and I think it's normal. And I want to make this normal for anybody who feels like that as well. That when you
Mhm.
don't have the proper safety you need, when you don't have a provider, when you don't have something you can rely on, it becomes harder to really let go and make peace, right? With
Mhm.
yourself
Mhm.
and stay calm. But when it comes to routine, so I started my journey from there. I started reading about different books and what people do in terms of their routine, waking up at 5 a.m., going to the gym, journaling, taking a cold shower. I've done a 75 heart challenge before, for those of you who know what that is. And I've tried a lot of things. For me right now, I think a routine is important, but also not being so addicted to my routine that if I don't get to do my routine, it will ruin my day is also important.
Mhm.
There was a
Mhm.
period of time where I was like, if I wake up one day and I won't have the time to write on my journal or do my affirmations or just have like that 5 minute meditation, if I would wake up a little bit later and I won't get the time to do that, I would feel like my day is ruined. Now I'm not productive. Now it's not going to be a good
Mhm.
day. You know, that became the mentality because people, I feel, keep pushing the routine so much now that you think if you don't have a routine, there's something wrong with
Mhm. Right, right.
but I feel
Yeah.
like the routine goes back to what truly makes you feel good and makes you feel ready and productive, and a good energy and a good mood to go about your day. So if that's
Yep.
just getting up and sitting in the sun for 5, 10 minutes, then that's what I would do probably. If I wake up and I'm like, I feel like I need to talk some stuff out, then I'll journal, you know?
Mm.
But some things that I do keep in my routine a lot is I'm a
Yeah.
hypnotherapist, so I do hypnotherapy sessions for myself. So I'll do self hypnosis, I do EFT tapping, and I
Oh.
think EFT is something I use a lot because it has to do a
Mhm.
lot with how you feel. So if I feel anxious, then I just do a quick EFT tapping routine. I go through the rounds, like 2, 3 rounds, and then I instantly feel like my nervous
And it
system is
works.
calm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. This is
absolutely.
something that we're definitely going to talk about after this. Like, I'm interested to know as part of
Yeah,
your wellness routine. Yeah. But like you mentioned just now, I believe that, what you're saying is also not to be hard on yourself. Like, you can have a routine, but, you don't have to, affect your entire life depending on it. Right? Be
exactly.
flexible. Like, I always tell myself, like, for me moving here, how I make myself feel like home is two things. I do have routine, but I do have things that are non-negotiable. So
Mhm,
it doesn't have to be like back to back things to call it a
mhm.
routine, but I do have a fixed ones that are non-negotiables for me.
Yes,
But when it comes to another thing, is actually my support system. So
yes,
yes, I moved here because of my husband. I do have him here, but I also feel that it's not just him that I should rely on. I build on connections. Yeah. So I am I would say I'm a sociable person where I need to connect with other people other than my family. So
yeah.
that's why I have to go out. I have to meet people and I meet like-minded people to be part of my life here in
Yeah,
Dubai.
yeah, that's how we
What do
met.
you think? Yeah, that's how we're met. I love your energy, and I feel like, of course, there are so many people out there, but you will be with the ones who are like-minded.
Yes,
The same
yes,
people as you, and you feel that that connection matters because that makes you feel like home. At least that's for
yes,
me.
yes. Yeah, I know, no, I completely agree with you, and I think at the end of the day, you have to put yourself out there, right? You can't just sit at home and think that, "Oh, I don't have anyone, I don't have a support, or this and that." That's not gonna help. You have to
Yep.
put yourself out there,
Mm, yeah.
for people to be able to know about you, to get to
Oh
know you.
yeah.
You have to give
Totally
yourself a
agree.
chance and them a chance by giving them the exposure to you, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that's my non-negotiable in terms of the routine you were talking about is at least getting a walk in every day
Same.
where I check out, like I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
everything aside, just focus on the walk, focus on around me. Okay, what am I? And sometimes I listen to a podcast, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I
Same.
listen to affirmations, sometimes I don't. It depends. What do I
Mhm.
feel like? And to me,
Mhm.
I feel like having that awareness where you can listen to your mind and body and soul and see what you really, really need and giving that to yourself is the best important routine you could do. Like that's what I think. If I
Same.
truly think that today I need to get up and maybe talk to myself in the mirror a little bit and give myself a little bit of, good energy, some encouragement, some words, because we
Mhm.
live with ourselves 24/7.
Mhm.
And and in order for us to also attract good people, good relationships to our life, we need to have a good relationship with ourselves. So
Oh, I love that.
probably like my energy, Renee, because I like my energy with myself. You know,
Mhm.
I try to be like literally like a friend to myself. There's days where I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, we did this. I'm not happy with this, but it's okay. We're learning. And there's days when I'm like, no, we should do better. We should do this. So there's just like mixed ups and downs of a friendship with just anyone. And something I want to really, really put emphasis on is your relationship with yourself is going to have the ups and downs that your relationship with others does have. It's
Mhm.
normal.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like one day you're gonna get up, you're gonna love yourself. One day you're gonna get up and you're like,
Oh, yeah, that's
I don't
perfectly
think,
normal.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
really not feeling myself today. It's
Yeah.
all normal, right?
Yeah, and I like the fact that you actually said that, you have to have a good relationship with yourself first because then it will reflect your relationship with others. You
Yes,
cannot expect to have a good relationship with others when your relationship with yourself is not good. I mean, I like
exactly.
that. I like that. And the fact that you actually mentioned about previous point that you mentioned about, moving here, especially in Dubai, you can't be at home and expecting to meet people. That
Yes.
will never happen. When I
No.
moved here, the first few things that I did was to search online, where can I meet people through social networking?
Mm.
And that's how you get exposed to so many people with so many backgrounds. I mean, considering that Dubai is the hub where you get
Yeah,
to meet so many people, and it depends on you yourself. That's the effort that you need to put in. Because if not,
exactly.
you will never meet people. And since we're talking about this, I would also like to know what brought you here to Dubai from Canada?
Okay. I mean, this wasn't a really easy decision because it's like building my life from scratch for a second time, right? Because I had a good life there, had a good business, I was thriving, I was doing really really well. Just things weren't feeling aligned. And when I say aligned, let me get this clear because I feel like some people have confusions around aligned. Just because some things don't feel comfortable sometimes to do, it doesn't mean it's not aligned. Just because it's out of something you're not used to and it's out of your comfort zone doesn't mean it's not aligned. What I mean aligned is that my soul wasn't feeling good with doing the type of work I was doing anymore. And, me moving out of Canada, it's like a 5 year decision. It wasn't like one night I'm like, okay, I'm going to move to Dubai. No, no, no. It was for a while that I just wanted to get out. I felt like I wasn't growing there anymore. I didn't feel like I never liked the weather, to be honest. I really, really don't like the cold. I need to keep mentioning this because people keep telling me, "Oh, but why Canada to Dubai?" But yes, there's opportunities there, but there's a lot of opportunities here, and I find a lot more like-minded people here than I found there. I'm not saying
Mhm.
people are not like-minded there. I'm not saying they're not entrepreneurial. Yes, they are, but here you just have more exposure to those kind of people. I think that's what majority of people, a lot of people here in Dubai do, right? Also, or they move here for business, entrepreneurship, working, building a new life. And for me, it was definitely number one. I moved to Dubai because of my business, because I wanted to give my new business, new purpose of mine, a chance to be able to get exposed to a different environment, a different world, and a place where I feel my intuition was calling for. Or like I felt like my intuition kept telling me that if I come here, things might move a lot faster than what I'm doing there.
Mm.
And also because the weather here is good most of the time through that the year. So there's so much
Mhm.
more to do to put myself out there. Whereas in Canada, I had to be at home a lot of the time because it was too
Uh,
cold and you don't feel like going anywhere,
mhm.
in negative 30 degrees. And I do enjoy summer activities more, spring activities more than winter ones. Like I was never a
Mhm.
ski kind of person. Not to say I
Mhm.
won't try it, but I
Mhm.
haven't tried it, and I it's not something that really calls me for. It calls me to it.
Yep.
So moving here was definitely a business decision. It's closer to home because my family lives in Iran,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be able to visit them more often. I was tired of being away from home, So being here gives me the access to go and visit them whenever I want to. It's just
Mhm.
a ticket.
Mhm.
It's 2 hours,
Mhm.
nothing. Whereas in
Yeah.
Canada, it was 21, 23
Of
hours
course, this is
sometimes.
too far, too far. That makes
Insane.
sense. But I wonder, how did you experience your first summer though? I mean, like coming from
Yeah.
Canada, we're too cold to like, Dubai. You came here in May.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, everybody told me if you can survive the summer here, you're going to be fine. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I think I could do this. And you know what? It was hard because some days were really, really hard
Oh
and
yeah.
really hot. And when I got here, obviously I had to get a job right away, get a visa and all those things. So just going to my job back and forth when the sun is up there and it's hot at 4 or 5 p.m. when you're coming back home, it was definitely hard. But
Mhm.
what I would say is that my mom's side family is from the south side of the country, which is close to Dubai actually.
Mhm.
It's like a 30-minute flight from Dubai to my mom's town.
Okay.
Um, and it's very, very hot there. So growing
Ah.
up, I spent a lot of the summertime there, springtime there.
Right.
So I kind of
Mhm.
am used to the hot weather. It really didn't
Okay.
bother me as much, maybe compared to someone who's really used to a cold weather.
Yeah.
And
That's
I never liked the cold. So I kept saying, I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for this, you know, lights because you barely see sun in Canada.
Yeah. I mean, I
So,
can never relate. Malaysia is always hot and
mm,
humid. But when we moved here, we thought we could handle it. But you know what? The first year during summer, we moved during summer, we fell
yeah.
sick because you know what? We were spending
Yes.
the whole day at the pool.
Out.
And yeah, and it was 50 degrees. And the next day we fell sick. And we always said that for us, we want to be in a cold country because we have too much hot and humid already. But I
Yeah.
think second year is good for me. I feel that
Yeah.
I know how to, plan my days, not to be outside all the time during summer, just
Yeah.
indoor. But when it comes to winter like this, I'm loving it. So yeah, it's really nice. And yeah, speaking of, you mentioned about, the reason why you move is also because of business. What business are you actually doing?
Okay. So I've been in the coaching space for a long time. I got into being a financial coach and advisor slash broker when I was 19. And I did that journey for up until I was 25, 26 almost. And I loved helping people. Like I loved sitting down with people, talking to them, and just being able to get them from point one to point two, from point A to point B, giving them a plan, being there, supporting them. Had a team of people I was working with that I had to hire, train, and develop. And so that leadership group was just something that I really, really liked. And giving myself a chance at that opportunity was what really, basically the whole point that taught me a lot about myself, that I am entrepreneurial, that I like working for myself, that I like owning a business. I didn't know that
Hmm.
before. I actually wanted to be a cardiologist, crazy enough, growing up. Yeah,
That's very different. Okay.
a completely different that ending up in finance. But then I would always tell people the same thing. I always wanted to just help people growing up. I wanted to be of service. And that's what truly makes me happy. Just being able to make someone's days better, having a positive impact on someone's day, influencing them in a better way. It's fulfilling to me.
Hmm.
And a
Hmm.
2020 year when I had my rock bottom was when I ended up on a whole different level of healing journey. I've been on a healing journey for a while, but that was just a different level. And that's when I came across EFT tapping more. I knew about EFT tapping when I was 19.
Hmm.
And for those who don't know, the full name is Emotional Freedom Technique. I'll explain more if you would want me to. But
Hmm.
that's one of the things I explored when I was 19 with the life coach that I was working with. I always tried to work with coaches and mentors because it's truly what helps you really level up in life. Like for me, it's what gets me unstuck every time,
Mm.
you know?
Hmm.
Because it's
Hmm.
so easy to get stuck in your own mind, and coaches need coaches. That's what I
Oh
believe.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Therapist
Hmm.
is a therapist. A
Hmm.
doctor is
Hmm.
another type of doctor, right? So we all always need other people also.
Hmm. Hmm.
We can never get rid of that need.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for me, that's where my whole journey started. And then I started learning about hypnotherapy. So everything combined, I chose to be a hypnotherapist and a relationship and healing coach. So that's what I do.
Okay, perfect. I think we'll definitely talk more about this because it's interesting to know that, you've started this business and, in fact, you're moving here to Dubai to expand that business. And
Yes.
let's talk about it more in the next
Sure.
episode. All
Sure.
right.